Your most valuable credential is training data for the system replacing you. November 19, 2025. A mid-size accounting firm on the 14th floor of an office tower in Midtown Atlanta. Priya Mehta is sitting at her desk reading a company-wide email. The subject line reads New Platform Rollout, Phase 1. It describes the firm's adoption of an AI-powered audit platform. The language is careful. The platform will enhance team productivity. It will reduce manual review time by up to 70%. It will allow the firm to handle a growing client base without proportional headcount increases. Priya is 34 years old. She has a bachelor's in accounting from Georgia State and a master's in taxation from Georgia Tech. She completed the required 150 credit hours. She passed all 4 sections of the CPA exam on her first attempt. She has worked at this firm for 8 years. During tax season, she works 60-hour weeks. She has never missed a deadline. She reads the email again. Enhance team productivity. Reduce manual review time by up to 70%. Handle a growing client base without proportional headcount increases. The platform does not replace Priya. It replaces the need for 3 of her. This is not a story about Priya Mehta. This is a story about the 5 careers that every guidance counselor, every parent, every career website, and every college admissions brochure calls safe. The careers that come with credentials, with professional exams, with licensing requirements, and continuing education and structured advancement. The careers that people choose specifically because they feel permanent. This is Last Shift, where we document what happens when work begins to change. And the work that is changing now is the work that was never supposed to. 5 careers that feel safe. 5 careers that collapse when automation arrives. Not someday. Not when the technology catches up. Now. The assumption most people carry is that credentials protect you, that a certification, a license, a professional exam creates a barrier between you and the machine. The barrier is real. It takes years to earn. It costs tens of thousands of dollars. It filters out people who cannot pass, and it creates the exact conditions that make automation easier, not harder. Because every credentialed profession is built on documented procedures, standardized processes, regulated workflows, and documented, standardized, regulated work is the easiest kind to train an AI on. The barrier to entry for humans is a training manual for machines. One of these 5 careers is being hollowed from the entry level up. The seniors survive, the juniors never get hired. The pipeline closes behind the people who are already inside, and nobody notices until the next generation shows up and discovers the door is locked. The first career that feels safe but collapses when automation arrives. Accountant. This is the profession parents recommend. It has a professional body, a licensing exam, a structured career path from staff accountant to senior to manager to partner. The median salary for a CPA is above $75,000. The perception is absolute. Accounting is safe. The numbers always need to be counted. But counting is exactly what machines do. 83% of accountants reported using AI tools in their work by 2025. Not planning to use them, using them. Invoicing, reconciliation, compliance checks, audit sampling, expense classification, tasks that previously required teams of staff accountants working through spreadsheets for days are now completed by software in hours. Up to 50% of tasks in a typical accounting role have automation potential within this decade. PwC Australia announced that 50% of its 2027 graduate intake will come from non-accounting backgrounds. The firm no longer needs accounting graduates to do accounting. It needs people who can manage AI systems that do accounting. A leaked PwC slide deck revealed plans to recruit 1/3 fewer graduates by 2028. The reason was stated explicitly: AI automation. Deloitte faced public scrutiny after a government report produced with AI tools contained fabricated references. The AI system generated citations that looked real but pointed to documents that did not exist. The incident exposed a fundamental truth about AI in professional services. The system can perform the work. It cannot guarantee the work is correct. Human oversight is still required, but human oversight requires fewer humans than human execution. The accounting profession is not disappearing, it is compressing. The work that required 10 people requires 3. The work that required 3 requires 1 person and an AI platform. The hiring freezes are already underway. The pipeline is closing, not with layoffs, with silence, with positions that simply do not get posted. Every audit has a checklist. Every checklist is an algorithm. Every algorithm is an automation target. Your CPA took 4 exams and 150 credit hours. The AI took the same information and trained on it overnight. The second career that feels safe but collapses when automation arrives. Pharmacy technician. Healthcare is the industry everyone believes is immune. People will always get sick. People will always need medication. Pharmacies will always need someone behind the counter to fill prescriptions and check labels and manage inventory. The logic is sound, the conclusion is wrong. 40% of pharmacy technician tasks have high automation potential. The tasks in question are the core of the job: counting pills, labeling bottles, verifying dosages against prescriptions, managing inventory levels, processing insurance claims, all rule-based, all repetitive, all producing structured data that fits perfectly into an automated pipeline. Walgreens has built a network of robotic micro-fulfillment centers designed to fill prescriptions without human hands. By the end of 2025, 12 automated centers were projected to cover over 5,000 retail locations, handling approximately 40% of the average prescription volume where deployed. The target is 50% of total prescription volume handled by robots. Walgreens simultaneously announced plans to close approximately 1,200 stores by 2027, including 500 in 2025 alone. The stores are closing, the robots are opening. CVS has implemented AI-powered prescription verification in over 8,000 of its locations. The system checks prescriptions, flags interactions, verifies dosages, and processes insurance, tasks that previously required a technician to complete manually for each order. The pharmacy technicians who remain are being reclassified. Their new role is to manage and oversee automated systems, to troubleshoot the machines, to prepare medication canisters that the robots will dispense. They are not filling prescriptions. They are supervising the system that fills prescriptions. The job title stays the same. The job description is unrecognizable. If your job involves counting, sorting, or verifying against a list, you are not in a safe career. You are in a career that has not been automated yet. We are not even halfway through this list, and the pattern is already clear. The credential does not protect you. It describes you. It describes exactly what you do in enough detail for a machine to learn it. The third career that feels safe but collapses when automation arrives. Insurance underwriter. Insurance is one of those industries that feels permanent. People need coverage. Companies need risk assessment. Someone has to evaluate applications, review claims, calculate premiums, and decide who gets approved. The profession is regulated, specialized, and well paid. And it is automating faster than almost any other white-collar sector. 80% of insurers are projected to be actively deploying AI across at least one core function by 2026. Not testing, deploying, underwriting, claims processing, fraud detection, pricing models. The AI does not assist the underwriter, it performs the underwriting. Processing time for routine applications has dropped from 3 to 5 days to 12.4 minutes. Accuracy rates for AI process policies are reaching 99.3%. AI now automates between 50 and 60% of insurance claims. Handling costs have dropped by 25 to 40%. Simple, low-complexity claims flow end-to-end through automated systems: intake, document validation, fraud screening, settlement. No human touches the file. Job openings in finance and insurance dropped to their lowest monthly level in a decade by December 2025. A research projection estimates a potential shortfall of 400,000 insurance jobs by 2035, not because the industry is shrinking, because the work is being done by fewer people. The entry-level positions that traditionally served as training grounds for experienced underwriters are disappearing. The new job titles tell the story: AI claims specialist, complex case navigator, coverage interpretation lead. The old titles, the ones that describe the work most people did, are being quietly retired. Risk assessment is pattern matching on historical data. That is literally what artificial intelligence was designed to do. If your job is to evaluate a file against a set of criteria and produce a decision, you are describing an algorithm. You're describing your replacement. The fourth career that feels safe but collapses when automation arrives: financial analyst. Finance is supposed to be sophisticated, building models, running scenarios, analyzing market data, presenting recommendations to senior leadership. The profession requires quantitative skills, business judgment, and the ability to synthesize complex information into actionable insight. One of the most competitive fields to enter, pays exceptionally well, and one of the most exposed to automation. Block, the company formerly known as Square, cut its workforce from 10,000 to 6,000 employees in early 2026. The CEO explicitly cited the growing capabilities of AI tools as the primary reason. Amazon announced approximately 16,000 corporate job cuts in 2026, with AI-driven efficiency listed among the contributing factors. Goldman Sachs has stated publicly that AI can perform the equivalent work of 300 junior analysts. The displacement is not hitting evenly. It is targeting the bottom of the pyramid. Senior analysts, managing directors, and partners are not being replaced. They are being given AI tools that eliminate the need for the teams below them. The junior analyst who built the model, ran the sensitivity analysis, formatted the presentation, and pulled the comparable transactions data is no longer needed for those tasks. An AI tool does all four in minutes. The structural problem is this: every senior analyst was once a junior analyst. The junior role is not just a job, it is the pipeline. It is how the profession trains its future leadership. When you cut the junior roles, you do not just eliminate positions, you eliminate the path. In 5 years, the industry will need experienced analysts who are trained on the job. It will not have them, because the training positions no longer exist. The spreadsheet does not care who fills it. The model does not need to be built by a person with an MBA. The presentation does not need to be formatted by a 24-year-old working until midnight. All of those tasks are data in, analysis out, and data in, analysis out is the definition of what AI does best. If your career requires you to spend 3 years doing work that a tool can now do in 3 minutes, the career is not offering you experience. It is offering you a countdown. The fifth career, the one that is supposed to be the fallback, the one that hiring managers in every other industry point to as the safety net, the one that every retraining program directs displaced workers toward: customer service representative. This is the final inversion on this list, because customer service is not just a career that is being automated, it is the career that other automated careers were supposed to retrain into. When factory workers lost their jobs to automation in the 1990s, the workforce development programs told them to retrain for service sector roles. When data entry clerks were displaced in the 2000s, the advice was the same. Get into customer-facing work. Companies will always need the human touch. Klarna, the Swedish fintech company, announced its AI customer service agent handles the equivalent work of 700 full-time employees. The system resolves 2/3 of customer inquiries in its first month of deployment. Telemarketing has been identified by multiple research institutions as the single occupation with the highest probability of full automation. Voice AI technology has advanced to the point where callers in controlled tests cannot reliably distinguish between AI and human agents. The scale of this displacement is different from the other 4 careers on this list. Customer service and call center roles employ millions of people globally. In the United States alone, the Bureau of Labor Statistics counts over 2.8 million customer service representatives. This is not a niche profession being redefined. This is one of the largest employment categories in the economy, being structurally challenged at its foundation. The mechanism is brutally simple. If your job has a script, AI already has your script. If your interactions follow a decision tree, the AI follows the same tree faster, cheaper, and without breaks. If your performance is measured by call resolution time and customer satisfaction scores, the AI already scores higher on both. And here is why this is the final item on the list. Every time a profession gets displaced, the advice is to move into something customer-facing. Something where the human touch matters, but customer service itself is now being automated. The fallback has no fallback. The safety net has a hole in it. The person who tells you to retrain for customer service is sending you into a building that is already on fire. Every one of these 5 careers was chosen by someone who wanted stability. Accounting, pharmacy, insurance, finance, customer service. They were the safe choices, the practical ones. The ones recommended by people who believed that a credential, a certification, or a structured career path was the best protection against economic uncertainty. The thread that connects all 5 is not complexity. It is documentation. Every one of these professions is built on documented procedures, standardized workflows, and regulated processes. The documentation that was supposed to ensure quality became the training data that taught an AI to replicate the work. The credential that was supposed to protect the worker described the worker's job function in enough detail for a machine to learn it. The certification on your wall is a receipt for training data you already donated. The World Economic Forum projects 92 million jobs displaced globally by 2030. McKinsey's 2025 estimate says current AI could automate 57% of all work hours in the United States. Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, warned that AI could eliminate half of all entry-level white-collar jobs within 5 years. The companies deploying these tools are not hiding it. They are stating it in earnings calls. They are putting it in press releases. They are basing their stock price growth on the headcount they are planning to eliminate. And every one of those companies still has a careers page. It is now March 2026. Priya Mehta still works at the same firm in Atlanta. Her title has not changed. She is still a staff accountant, but the firm has not hired a new staff accountant in 14 months. The AI audit platform handles the reconciliation work that used to occupy 3 people on her team. One of those people left for a different firm. One took a severance package. Neither was replaced. Priya is good at her job. She is thorough and careful, and she understands the limitations of the AI system better than most of her colleagues. Her manager told her last month that her value to the firm is in the judgment she applies to the AI's output. Priya appreciated the compliment. She also noticed that it was a description of a different job than the one she trained for. Her younger sister is finishing her junior year at Georgia State. She is an accounting major. She asked Priya whether she should take the CPA exam. Priya did not answer immediately. She looked at her desktop, at the platform that was open in one tab, and the firm's hiring freeze memo in another, and said, "Take it, but learn the tools before the tools learn you." The question is not whether your career is on this list. The question is whether your daily work looks more like a procedure or a judgment call. Which of these 5 careers is closest to yours? If you want to know which professions survive the next wave and which ones do not, subscribe. The last shift never begins where people expect. Now you know where it starts.